Good morning. Welcome to Lawless in the Morning. Beautiful day here in Winnipeg. And wow, what a thriller last night. Hawks scored too late. Jonathan Toews, Winnipeg's Jonathan Toews, with both of them to force overtime. And then the quick goal for the Ducks, boy. You have to like the Ducks. I'm starting to think that they are the team of destiny in this Stanley Cup playoffs. Anyways, this is Lawless in the Morning, and we're going to use your questions today to get this rolling. So, Phil Gass, at Phil Gass, what is your early assessment of the Bombers offseason? Can they make the playoffs? And if so, who do they push out of a playoff spot? Well, I don't know who they'll push out. I think they're in tough. I think it's, first of all, outstanding offseason. Just go all the way back to Kyle Walters assessing what he needs to get rid of. Retools that offensive line. Dom Picard, Stanley Bryant, then the draft pick. Just really good job there. Re-upping Drew Willie, making sure that the team has security there. They don't have to worry about who's going to be their quarterback. Just a lot of really good things. A busy offseason. I think they need to really improve on defense. And Mike O'Shea went out and hired Richie Hall. We'll find out how they all gel. This is what I've been saying for a while. I think the Bombers can win 10 games, and I won't be overly surprised if they win 11, maybe 12. I think a 12-win season would be, they would be a playoff team, and people should be out of their minds if they can make that much of a leap this year. But I think they're going to be better for sure. All right, what's next? Matt Leibel. I like this one. At Matt Leibel. If you were starting a team tomorrow, who would you take, Sidney Crosby or Jonathan Toews? Everyone knows, anyone who reads my column knows, for me, it's Jonathan Toews. It's the two-way game. It's the leadership. You saw him last night. He finds a way. He has a certain will about him. I think that Crosby and Malkin have underachieved there in Pittsburgh. They've only won one Stanley Cup. And, is Pittsburgh going to win the Stanley Cup next year? They're not at the top of my list. And, I don't think the Hawks are going to win this year. But I think they'll be good again next year, and they'll be in the hunt. So for me, it's Jonathan Toews. At Chip Guy 77, what does the Babcocks signing in Toronto do for the second-tier coaches like Paul Maurice? Well, Paul Maurice has got 3 more years left on his contract. So what the landscape looks like when this deal expires, I'm not too sure. But I know that coaches that are signing right now or getting hired right now, their price has gone up. Todd McClellan signed before Babcock. He got $3 million. If he had signed after, I bet you it would have been 3.5. I bet you Dan Bilesma gets $3 million. I'm not sure he's a $3 million coach. If Randy Carlyle gets the job in San Jose, I bet you that's a $3 million hit. I think for the young guys coming in, the level will have already risen as well. I think $1 million is probably the starting point now for a head coach in the National Hockey League, and I think it's only going to go up, and it should. How likely, this is from Stunt Monkey, at Stunt Monkey 12, how likely is it that the Manitoba Moose lead the AHL in attendance this year? Nah, I don't think so. I think, I think they'll sell between 4,000 and 5,000 season tickets. Excuse me, live radio or live TV or live video, however you want to call it. Not really live tape, but live to tape. Anyways, I think, they'll average around 6,000, 5,000 a night. And, I think that they'll be, Hershey will have better numbers than that. This isn't an AHL town anymore. It's an NHL town with an AHL team. And I still think that they're going to be successful. I think that, if they average 4,000, I think that it makes sense as a business and it'll work from them from a financial standpoint. Although, I'll have to be honest, if Connor Hellebuyck is back there in goal and Patan is there and Morrissey is there, Kostelek, it's going to be interesting from my perspective to go and watch them. And I think a lot of people, if Hellebuyck gets sent across the rink to the Moose, into the other dressing room, I think a lot of people are going to be watching how he plays and keeping an eye on the goalies with the Jets. There's going to be a bit of a situation here where, it's like in the CFL how the backup quarterback is always the most popular athlete in town. when a team is struggling. If the Jets goalies aren't going great, and the next night, Hellebuck stands on his head and gets a shutout, fans are going to be screaming, why isn't that guy in the Jets net? That's there are a few pitfalls in having the Moose and the Jets in the same city and so accessible to all their fans, and that's one of them from my perspective. So we got a few more here. Okay, yeah. MrSnarky at Cal_RN. Do Ehlers or Patan make the Jets roster this season? Well, not both of them. I don't think that there's room for both of those guys on the roster, but hey, I could be surprised. They're both pretty small. Listen, Morrissey going back to the Western Hockey League this year, a lot of people question that, and I think, and I was one of them, but I don't think that Morrissey had a good enough camp to turn heads and to force Kevin Cheveldayoff's hand. I think Ehlers is a bit of a different situation. He is such a high-skilled guy, and it becomes easy for him in the Quebec League to put up 3-4 points a night, 5 points a night, and then not worry, have a 3-minute shift at certain points and not worry about progressing his game. There are going to be gaps in the Jets lineup this year because of unrestricted free agency for a number of guys. If Ehlers can come to camp and really shine and, try and force Paul Maurice into putting him into the lineup, he'll get some games early and that'll be up to him. If I had to pick any of those guys, it would be Ehlers, I think, that is going to try and push the envelope and make the Jets roster this year. Okay, is that it? I think I might have one more. This is kind of disorganized. That's it, folks. Those are all my questions. I knew I had one more. This is from Gerald Aim at MB Canuck. What's the value worth of Frolik to the Jets, and how far should they go to keep him? The $1 million question, or the $5 million question, or the $4 million question. I think Michael Frolik, for my money, is 4 years at $16 million. Started at 3.8, go to 3.9, and then 4.1 and 4.2, something like that. I think his agent wants a 5-year deal, and I think they want more money than that. And I think that the Jets are struggling with that. Now, hopefully the two sides can come together before July 1. It's beginning to look like they're not making any progress right now in terms of a deal. But things are quiet from now until the end of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The league doesn't like teams to make news. Alan Walsh will be in Sunrise, Florida for the draft. Kevin Cheveldayoff will be there for the draft. Maybe they get together. Maybe Michael Frolik. I know Frolik does want to play in Winnipeg. He wants to stay here. So maybe Frolik says to Walsh before the draft, try and get a deal done, Alan. And maybe things happen, and we'll see. I think the Jets have an internal budget, and they have a number where they're willing to go with Frolik. And right now, that number isn't high enough for the player and his agent. So we'll see if the two can get together. That's Lawless in the Morning. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you soon.